Welcome to the ASTRALX Deep Dive, Illuminating Your Path. I'm Lunaria Celine, your intuitive guide.
And I'm Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist. We bridge celestial wisdom.
Unlock your modern path. Discover guiding starlight insights.
Explore powerful cosmic energies.
How do planetary transits shape your story today?
That's really the big question for this deep dive, isn't it?
It is, and we've got this incredible set of source materials here. It's essentially a celestial blueprint, really focused on you, our listener, mapping out the energies for 2025.
Yeah, quite detailed. Our goal today is to, really dive into these pages, find those key insights, the most potent ones.
And translate them, right? Make that starlight practical for the path ahead for you this coming year.
Exactly. So let's start at the core. The source material points to a really powerful archetype for you. It calls it the Philosopher-Assassin.
Philosopher-Assassin, that's quite a combination.
It really is. You've got two primary energies blending here. First, the Sagittarius Sun, the source, calls this the Cosmic Archer.
Okay, Sagittarius. So that's the philosophical fire, the truth-seeking, the horizon-chasing freedom.
Right, that expansive questing energy, always aiming for the biggest truth, the widest view.
But then that's paired with your Scorpio Rising, and the source names that the Obsidian Alchemist.
Precisely. And that Scorpio Rising shapes how you show up in the world. It gives your presence this magnetic intensity, real psychological depth.
And that power, the source says, is about transmutation, working with shadows.
Yes, exactly. The power to take what's hidden, maybe even difficult or shadowy, and alchemize it. Turn it into strength. The source even says, into weapons.
Wow. Okay, so the Cosmic Archer's vision meets the Obsidian Alchemist's depth. How does the source describe that synthesis? What is the Philosopher-Assassin?
It says your Sagittarian arrow, that vision gets tempered, like steel in Scorpio's volcanic forge. It sharpens it, gives it intensity.
So it changes the quality of that Sag energy.
Profoundly. That Sagittarian wanderlust, it shifts, becomes what the source calls sacred vengeance.
Not like petty revenge, though.
Yeah. No. More like a deep drive to correct imbalances, fueled by understanding hidden truths. And the search for truth itself becomes soul excavation, digging deep.
And adventures become a revolution of rebirth. Each journey changes you at the core.
Right. The source uses some powerful imagery here, too. It says, your laughter can shatter illusions, and your silence, it bursts galaxies. It speaks to a huge internal power.
It sounds quite potent. The source material also points to historical and cultural echoes, right? To show this energy isn't totally out of the blue.
Yeah, it gives examples, like Hypatia of Alexandria.
The philosopher and astronomer.
Exactly. You see, the Sagittarian scholarship, the love of knowledge, combined with this scorpionic intensity, maybe even a mystical quality to her understanding. And she died defending her truth, her intellectual freedom.
That's a powerful parallel. And Margaret Mead.
Another great example from the source. That Sagittarian drive sent her across the globe, didn't it? But her Scorpio depth meant she wasn't just collecting facts. Her anthropology was like psychological excavation, deep dives into cultures.
So the legacy there is what the source says. Truth is a weapon forged in the shadows.
It's about finding power in depth and wielding truth effectively.
And culturally, the source paints some vivid pictures there, too.
Oh, yeah. It asks you to imagine, like Xena's battle cry, that big Sagittarian call for justice, meeting Elizabeth Salinger's intense, focused, almost surgical Scorpio vengeance.
That's quite the image, a warhorse galloping through hell, the source says.
Right. Or in literature, think of Jane Eyre's strong moral quest, her inner fire, blended with something like Gideon the Ninth's dark wit and power, that necromantic edge.
And the soundtrack vibe.
Florence Welch's Seven Devils, that deep, intense shadow work, meets Led Zeppelin's Kashmir, that vast, expansive journeying feel. It's that mix. Deep power, wide vision.
Okay, so that's the core archetype, the Philosopher-Assassin. And 2025 is really about activating this for you.
Yes. The whole cosmic landscape of 2025, according to the source, is about this theme. Fire, your Sagittarius Sun, merging with water, your Scorpio Rising energy.
And there are specific transits driving this, key moments.
Absolutely. The source highlights a few major ones. First up, late in the year, November, December 2025, we have the great Sagittarius stellium.
A stellium, so a bunch of planets together.
A whole cluster. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, all colliding in Sagittarius, which is your first house.
The first house. That's identity, presence, how I show up.
Exactly. So having all these dynamic planets there, the source calls it a particle accelerator of charisma. It's a massive injection of that Sagittarian fire directly into your self-expression, your physical presence, how the world sees you.
That sounds intense. Does the source mention how that might feel?
It does. It gives a somatic anchor. Heat in hips and liver, plus pressure in the pelvic floor, grounding that cosmic surge in the body.
And the suggested action.
Run barefoot roaring. I am my own revolution.
Okay, a real primal release, embodying that self-assertion.
It's about owning that surge of identity, that power hitting your core presence late in the year.
All right. What else is key in 2025?
Well, throughout much of the year, you've got Saturn moving through Pisces, and this is happening in your 6th house.
6th house. Okay, that's daily routines, health, work, service, the practical stuff.
That's the one. So you have Saturn-structured discipline, karmic lessons, what the source calls karmic gravity, meeting Pisces fluidity, dreams, intuition, the quantum fluidity of the dream sea.
Structure meets the boundless ocean in the house of daily life. How does that work?
The source uses some really interesting phrases here. It says the outcome is quantum decoherence dissolves martyrdom.
Okay, unpack that a bit. Dissolving martyrdom.
It suggests that Saturn's reality check cuts through any maybe vague or boundaryless ways you've been approaching your work or health, where you might feel overwhelmed like a victim of circumstance. Saturn brings clarity, dissolves that Piscean fog of martyrdom.
Makes sense. And the other part? Gravitational collapse forges soul-deep service.
Right, so Saturn's pressure doesn't just restrict, it concentrates. It forces you to find real, solid, meaning soul-deep purpose within your daily work, your health routines, your acts of service. It structures the Piscean potential for deep empathy and connection into something tangible.
So it's about turning potential burdens or confusion into something purposeful.
Exactly. Transforming them into powerful, dedicated action. Finding the sacred in the routine.
Does the source link this to a physical sensation, too?
Yeah, interestingly, stiff wrists during mundane tasks, like the body feeling that tension between structure and flow in daily work.
And there's a mantra or action for this.
Yes. Trace infinity signs with obsidian while saying, my labor is alchemy.
Ah, obsidian for that scorpionic depth, infinity for the Piscean flow, alchemy for transformation. Nice.
It's a way to consciously engage with that energy, turning daily work into something potent. This transit is really reshaping your everyday experience and sense of purpose.
Okay, stellium in the 1st, Saturn in the 6th. What's the 3rd key event?
A really potent one, the Scorpio solar eclipse on March 29th. And this lands in your 12th house.
12th house. The unconscious, secrets, hidden things, endings.
Right, the deep waters. The source calls this eclipse a black hole revelation.
That sounds ominous. Powerful.
Powerful, definitely.
Yeah.
The idea is that things buried deep trauma, hidden strengths, ancestral patterns may be surfaced during this time, but crucially, the source says they surface as power.
Not just as pain or confusion.
No, the emphasis is on reclaiming power that's been hidden or dormant in your subconscious, in your past. It's revelation from the depths.
The source mentions a somatic firestorm, like ice-cold spine during nightmares. That sounds intense.
It can be, working with 12th house material, so the suggested action is quite visceral. Transformed by screaming into a pillow at dawn.
A physical release for that intense energy surfacing.
Exactly. A way to process what's coming up from those hidden depths around the eclipse time.
And there's a specific ritual, too, for the day before.
Yes. A dark moon burial ritual for March 28th. This is about consciously working with that Scorpio eclipse energy as it builds.
How does it work?
You identify an inherited lie, some limiting belief or pattern you picked up. Write it on black paper.
Okay.
Then you bury it, literally, with garlic for protection, cleansing, and a rusty key, symbolizing unlocking something old and stuck.
And the mantra connects it all.
My shadows are my truth. It's about facing those inherited shadows, burying the lies, and reclaiming the power within them to strengthen your own truth. This eclipse is a major point for you confronting and transmuting subconscious material.
So we have this dynamic Philosopher-Assassin energy. You're really getting stirred up by these big cosmic events in 2025. The source also gives practical tools, right, to help integrate all this.
It does, yeah. Under the theme of arming your truth, these are ways you can actively work with the Archer and Alchemist energies.
Like the embodiment exercise, the arrow and anvil breath.
Exactly. It's designed to physically bring those Sag, Arrow, and Scorpio, Anvil, the Forge, energies together in your body.
How do you do it?
Okay, so you start in an archer's lunge. Right knee bent, left arm out like you're drawing a bow.
Got it.
Then you inhale for about 4 seconds and visualize pulling energy. Maybe it's trauma, maybe it's just stuck power up from your pelvic floor, that Scorpio zone.
All the way up to
your third eye, center of vision, intuition.
And the exhale is the release, the arrow.
Right. A longer exhale, maybe 8 seconds. You shoot that arrow forward with a strong hissing sound, like Shiva.
Invoking transformation, release.
Precisely. The source says use this when you feel silenced, confined.
Hmm.
It's a way to physically reclaim your voice, your power.
Makes sense. And there's a ritual for the Sagittarius full moon too, May 31st.
Yes, this one leans right into that Sagittarian Archer energy. It's about focusing your truth and intention outwards.
What do you need for that one?
Hawk feather, a little bit of bourbon, and a world map.
Okay, interesting combo.
You dip the feather in the bourbon often linked to Sag, firewater spirit, and use it to circle 3 spots on the map. These are your global injustice targets.
So focusing intention on specific world issues.
Exactly. Places or issues where you want to aim your Sagittarian focus on truth and justice. Then you safely burn just the edges of the map.
Symbolizing activating that intention.
Yeah, releasing it while chanting, "My sight ignites the reckoning." Then you plant the ashes, ideally with yarrow seeds. That's our yarrow is for courage, boundaries.
That feels like a powerful way to connect the personal transformation we've been talking about to a bigger picture, taking your truth and aiming it.
Precisely. Channeling that Sagittarian fire with intention.
Now, the source also sketches out some possible ways this could all manifest for you, doesn't it? These aren't predictions, but examples.
Right, potential timelines, examples of how the Philosopher-Assassin energy activated by these 2025 transits could actually play out in your life. Based on the source material, of course.
They show the range of possibilities. What's the first one?
The source calls it the Vengeance Scholar. And it links this conceptually to that Scorpio eclipse activation we talked about. Deep investigation, uncovering things.
Okay, so how might that look?
Well, the trigger could be something like exposing corruption maybe in a university, a corporation using leaked info, deep research, Scorpio digging.
And the manifestation.
Could be something like creating a whistleblower Odyssey substack, merging that Scorpio investigative intensity with Sagittarian flair, maybe satirical travelogues exploring the places connected to the story.
Using truth-telling in a creative way. And the weapon.
Anonymized documentaries filmed at sacred sites. Again, blending that deep truth, Scorpio, with wider meaning and exploration, Sag.
Interesting. What's the second timeline?
The trauma shaman. This one feels connected to mastering that Saturn in the 6th house energy, daily life, health, service.
How so?
The trigger might be personal. Maybe a chronic illness, a health challenge that leads you to uncover deeper stuff, perhaps ancestral wounds, linking 6th house health to 12th house or Scorpio themes.
Right, the body revealing deeper stories.
Exactly. And the manifestation. Maybe creating your own unique therapy modality. The source suggests shadow and starlight, somatic therapy, combining things like archery, Sag focus, scream therapy, Scorpio release, even genealogy, ancestral work.
Wow, that's specific. The alchemy there.
Is taking painful experiences, even medical records, and turning them into illuminated grimoires. Sacred texts derived from personal suffering used to guide others.
That's profound. Okay, and the third possibility.
The stellium prophet. This one connects to that big burst of first house energy from the stellium late in the year. Very visible, very out there.
How might that get triggered?
Could be something public, like a video of you goes viral, maybe debating zealots or speaking truth powerfully at a significant place like a holy site, your first house presence suddenly amplified.
And the result?
Maybe you create something like the Philosopher-Assassin Academy, online courses, perhaps focused on teaching women how to weaponize their trauma, turning pain into power and strategy. Very direct, very impactful.
It sounds like it could attract some attention.
The source acknowledges that. Challenges, maybe even death threats. But it suggests you'd handle it with Scorpio Rising stealth and shielding, plus that Sagittarian humor as a disarming tool.
These timelines really paint a picture, don't they? They show how you could channel all this potent 2025 energy into very different but equally powerful directions. Research, healing, teaching.
Yeah, they illustrate the range, how the archer's vision and the alchemist's depth can work together to create real change, personally and maybe even more broadly.
So if we boil it all down, the archetype, the transits, the tools, these possibilities, what's the core invitation for you in 2025 based on this source material?
It's incredibly direct. The source says, arm your truth. That's the mission for the year.
Arm your truth.
Yes, it's an invitation to consciously let your Scorpio rising depth forge the arrows of your Sagittarius Sun truth. Use the fires of buried pain, of subconscious exploration.
Don't shy away from the shadows.
No, plunder them, the source says. Plunder your shadows for ammunition. And then aim high. Aim for those horizons where freedom and justice collide.
It emphasizes that the power comes from the depths.
Exactly. The most lethal truths, it says, are launched from the darkest depths you dare to explore.
Powerful. And there's a specific mantra for the year to hold this energy.
Yes, a potent one to carry with you. I knock my truth in darkness, loose it in light. My scars are my quiver. My vision cuts through night. Where I strike, rot becomes revelation.
Wow. Rot becomes revelation. That captures the Scorpio transmutation. The source ends with some poetry too, doesn't it?
It does, a beautiful encapsulation.
Sagittarius seeks the farthest star. Scorpio knows what burns in the dark.
You hunter with venom-tipped light, turn wounds into compasses, vengeance into flight.
For every arrow shot from the abyss's maw pierces illusion to birth cosmic law.
That really brings it all together. The darkness and the light, the wound and the weapon, the personal and the cosmic.
As our cosmic journey concludes, we've really gone deep into this amazing source material you provided, charting your Philosopher-Assassin path through 2025.
Yeah, it's clear this year holds a profound invitation for you to integrate that deep scorpionic power with your expansive Sagittarian fire. It's about reclaiming, aiming, and, well, transforming.
Dive deeper into your unique path. Request your email audio reading now. Find the link in the description below.
Explore episode resources and links. All details are waiting for you there.
Ignite. Think. Become.
Subscribe for Starlight Insights. Thank you for joining us.